Hi again, everyone. Gary Digit Williams here on Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network. And don't forget, Boxing on the Beltway Podcast Network can be heard on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio.com, Stitcher.com, and TuneIn, as well as Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, and on Spotify. So you can hear it wherever you go in the podcast world. We have an interesting show this week. We have a recap of what was a very interesting card at the live casino in Hanover, Maryland this past Saturday. Of course, you had the live coverage of that, so hope you had a chance to listen to it right here on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network. If you did not listen to us live, we have the card archived for you on all of the podcast networks that I just mentioned, podcast parts of the network that I just mentioned. So we have archived of that. We also have a big win. Talk about a big win for a local Beltway boxer on the road on national television. Huge win for him. And we're going to give an early preview of what is going to be a very busy spring for us here in the Beltway. A lot of things going on, a lot of cards, a lot of bouts. So we're going to talk a little bit about that early on at this time. Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Boxing on Beltway Podcast Network, brought to you as always by Real Time Pain Relief. From boxers to ballerinas, the shoulder pain, the muscle strain, everything between. Boxing on the Beltway recommends Real Time Pain Relief, the natural, plant-based, safe, fast, and effective ointment. You go to freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of Real Time Pain Relief. You get a free $10 tube of Real Time Pain Relief, the official pain relief of the 2020 Daytona 500. Rub it on. The pain is gone in real time. And by DeborahSpears.com. She has great weight loss tips, of course, great jewelry, and great training methods. You go to Deborah, that's Debra Spears.com. As we said, nice show this past Saturday at Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland, the Jetta Promotions card in front of a packed house. Some 4,800 fans went to see this show. They have recently expanded the event center at Live Casino, and it looks unbelievable. It is wonderful. So you think about what Live Casino has, along with what MGM National Harbor Casino has. You have two quality, first-class places to have boxing, and Maryland is very fortunate along those lines. And they packed the house at the card there this past Saturday, and they saw Laurel, Maryland super middleweight Damon the Best Dad Nicholson survive a 6-round knockdown to win a tough 10-round split decision over a very game Mike the Menace guy of Sacramento, California. And this was an interesting bout because it depends on how you saw the bout. It's one of those things where if you saw Nicholson's defense came into play that in this bout, because Guy was throwing more punches, but it didn't look like a lot of them were landing. And I think the Nicholson's defense might have been a big key, was a big key in that bout. Early in the bout, Nicholson was controlling Guy with a good left jab and would land some solid right hands. But in the 6th round, Guy caught Nicholson with a straight right hand. He dropped him to the canvas. And I think, I know Nicholson said after the fight that he just slept on that situation. And Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis, his trainers, said basically the same thing, along with his father, Will Nicholson. But Nicholson tried to move from side to side as Guy would barrel forward and try to pressure Nicholson. Guy would land some punches, but again, most of those shots landed on Nicholson's gloves as he had his hand up. Now, Guy did win one judge's scorecard. David Braslow scored about 96-93 for Guy. But Kenny Chevalier and Steve Rados, they saw it about for Nicholson, 95-94. So, good win for Nicholson. He's back fighting well since that near tragic bout with kidney failure after he was scheduled to be on that May 11th card at the Eagle Bank Arena in Fairfax, Virginia. We talked about that. And his kidney failed a little bit. And he got back then. Turned that into a positive. He's also a spokesman for the National Kidney Foundation. So, Damon Nicholson now 23-3-1, 20 KOs. And Mike Guy, who has been complaining on social media, his camp been complaining on social media about they may have been robbed. He falls to 12-5-1, 5 KOs. Co-featured about great win for DC's Jordan Short Dog White. He captured the vacant WBC Youth Intercontinental Super Featherweight Championship. He was a dominant figure in this bout. 7th round TKO over Rolando Criminal Solis of Cancun, Mexico. White's speed and accuracy, that proved to be the difference early in the bout. He landed telling jabs, body shots, and he looked like he confused Solis by switching to southpaw during the contest. And he talked about that a little bit after the fight, that he really did well switching to southpaw, and that may have got Solis there. Solis with White landed a crushing counter left hand in the seventh round, dropped Solis to the canvas. Solis would beat referee Kenny Chevalier's count, but Chevalier felt he was in no condition to continue, and the bout was stopped at just 15 seconds of the seventh round. White is now 10-1, 7 KOs, looked great in this bout. Solis loses for the first time in his United States debut. He's now 4-1-1, 3 KOs. And what I consider to be a crossroad bout on this card, Baltimore, Maryland cruiserweight Slick Nick Kisner won a 10-round unanimous decision over Vanilla Gorilla Sam Crosser of Greenbelt, Maryland, to claim the vacant Maryland State Cruiserweight title. Now, Kisner was more experienced despite being 3 years younger than Crosser. Kisner's 29 years old, Crosser's 32 years old. And the experience that Kisner showed both in the pros and in the amateurs, he's one of the more decorated amateurs we've had in the Beltway, it proved to be the difference in this bout. Crosser started strong. He tried to pressure Kisner in the first few rounds. But Crosser had never been past 6 rounds before. And I think as the bout wore on, Crosser got tired. Simple as that. He looked good. He came in there nicely, but he couldn't get things going after the 6th round. By the middle of the bout, Kisner was able to get his distance. Crosser to get fatigued. He started to reach with his punches. Kisner remained poised throughout, landed a solid jabs from distance. Second half of the bout, Judge David Brazell scored about 99-91. Judges Kenny Chevalier, Steve Rados saw the bout for Kisner 96-94. Excuse me. Kisner, who last fought in October against Daddy Kelly, he was around 220 pounds. He lost some 30 pounds for this bout and got down to 190 pounds to win this bout. So big win for Nick Kisner, 22-5-1, 6 KOs. Now, Crosser suffered his very first loss. He's 9-1 with 5 KOs. Also in the card, Clinton, Maryland bantamweight Jay Stansel III scored a first-round TKO over Antonio Lucane of Mount Vernon, New York. Now, early in the first round, Stansel seemed to drop Lucane with a right hand, but referee Brazell called it a push and wouldn't call it a knockdown there. And it was a push, no question about that. Later in the round, Stansel dominated Lucane, trapped him in the neutral corner, landed heavy and body shots, and Brazell stepped in and halted the bout. Time of the stoppage was 1:21 of the first round. Stansel's 2-0, 1 KO. Lucane falls to 0-4. Ambitious one Malik Lofton out of Suitland, Maryland. He lost a 6-round unanimous decision over to Dallas, Texas featherweight Charles Clark. Now, the judges saw the quality of punches that Clark threw in the bout, landed solid shots to Lofton's head and body. Lofton threw more punches, just like Mike Guy may have thrown more punches against DeMar Nicholson, but just like Guy, Lofton's punches did not land, or they were successfully blocked by Clark. John Gradowski scored about 59-55 for Clark, as did Rados. He saw the shutout, 60-54, and Judge Kenny Chevalier scored about 58-56 for Clark. Both men, by the way, have that same record. They're now 3-2, 2 KOs. Owings Mills, Maryland lightweight Brandon, now known as the Hitter Chambers, won a 4-round split decision over Christopher Bad Boy Haney of Glendale Heights, Illinois. This was the 3rd bout between these two guys. Other than the draw between the two on October 18th at Live Casino, this was the closest contest of the trilogy. Chambers also won the 2nd bout between the two. Chambers in this bout seemed to be the busier of the 2 men in the contest. He seemed to outwork Haney in the contest. However, Haney did do enough, to get the nod on Judge Eric Irizarry's card, 39-37. Judges Brazell and Rados both saw a shutout for Chambers, 40-36. Chambers is 3-0 in 1 draw, 2 KOs, winning 2 of his bouts against Haney, as we said. Haney now is 0-6-2. Cockeysville, Maryland super middleweight A.J. We-Are Williams. He registered a 3rd-round knockout over Michael Brock Willis of Clarksburg, West Virginia. Williams used his height advantage to good use in the 3rd round. He threw a beautiful right-left combination that sent Willis to the canvas. Brazell immediately stopped the bout at 220. Williams rises to 5-1, 3 KO. while Henry remains winless is 0-6-2. I should say, Brock Willis remains winless at 0-7-2. I believe his record is. But a good combination by Willis on that bout. Middleweight Maurice MG3 Winslow, who's now competing out of Odenton, Maryland. He's originally out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. He won by fourth round disqualification over Dwayne the Beast Williams of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This was an ugly bout. It was a clinch fest throughout. Both boxers got in numerous tangles. And referee Eric Arizari, refereeing one of his first pro bouts, he has not been a pro very long, did well in this bout. He had to repeatedly come between the two. Now, Arizari would take 2 points away from Williams in the third round for holding before that disqualification. And in the fourth round, he deducted a point from Winslow for the same thing, holding. Williams' holding to be too excessive, however, Arizari called for the disqualification. Winslow's now 3-1, 1 KO. Williams falls to 1-6-1 with 1 KO as well. Germantown, Maryland super featherweight Ibrima E-Boy Jawara, now known. He won a 6-round unanimous decision over Philip Rock Solid Davis of Worcester, Massachusetts. Jawara complete control of this bout. He landed solid jabs to Davis in head and body throughout. He go on to win by scores of 60-54 and 59-55 twice. I like Ibrima Jawara. I think he's a very solid a young man, a very solid pro, only a pro in his second year right now. I was very impressed with him in the amateurs as well. I saw a lot of him in the Golden Gloves, and he's a very, very solid competitor. He's going to be a good one. I'm thinking he's going to do very well. Once again, Jawara at 4-1, 1 KO. Davis is 2-3-1. In the opening contest, saw Arnold Maryland lightweight Blaze Fiedler Hernandez win a 4-round unanimous decision over Edward the Mad Hattler of Corydon, Indiana. Hernandez used nice quickness, accuracy, won the contest by scores of 39-37 twice and 40-36. Hernandez wins his first pro bout. He's 1-0-1. Hattler is 1-2. So, again, a very interesting, very nice card brought by Tony and Kristen Jeter. Their matchmaker was Nick Tiberi. And we have to say congratulations and happy birthday belated to Discombobulating Jones, who on that night celebrated his 64th birthday. So congratulations to them. So very good card, and a wonderful crowd out at Live Casino, Hanover, Maryland. Jeter Promotions is doing an outstanding job. They have a wonderful relationship with the folks at Live Casino. Let me just say to them about the folks at Live Casino. They do a fantastic job of getting the press together, and they have a little food for the press, and they really are accommodating, and they do an outstanding job. So once again, congratulations to folks at Live Casino as well, and looking forward to a long relationship between Jeter Promotions and Live Casino. Do a wonderful job. Now, big win, huge win for Hagerstown, Maryland super middleweight, the sexy Albanian young Plana. He won a national televised 10-round unanimous decision over the second coming Kevin Newman, the second of Las Vegas. This bout was the first bout on the Showbox telecast this past Friday night from Sam's Town and Gambling Hall in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, according to Ryan Burton of BoxingScene.com, the early rounds were close. Newman tried to solve the riddle of Yank Plana. Both fighters had their moments as Newman was the aggressor, but Plana counterpunched very effectively. Newman jabbed forward successfully, ate more than a few big punches as he worked his way in. At the end of the fourth round, Newman hurt Plana's nose, says Ryan Burton of Boxing Scene. No blood was drawn, but Plana began to paw at it as he walked to his corner. End of the fifth round, with his back against the ropes, Newman unloaded several power shots. The defense, defense went out the window in the sixth and seventh round as both fighters threw wild punches with various degrees of success. Plana got the best of it, according to Ryan Burton. Newman finished the eighth round strong, landing several flush shots as Plana just smiled. Newman outworked Plana in the last two rounds, but Plana was very successful with the punches that he did throw, and he landed most of them flush in the last two rounds. All three judges scored the bout for Plana 96-94. Now that's significant primarily because Newman has fought at Sam's Town and Gambling Hall, and he's a Las Vegas native. He's fought at Sam's Town and Gambling Hall 5 consecutive times, and I think 7 in all of his career. And for Plana to walk out of there with a win like that with all three judges scoring the bout for him 96-94. That probably means he won the bout even more significantly than the scores indicated. But be that as it may, wonderful performance for Yank Plana. Great win. Plana is unbeaten in his last 4 outings, 3-0-1, 1 KO. Overall record is 8-1-1, 4 KOs. And Newman has won 4 in a row. He has that streak broken. He's now 11-2-1, 6 KOs. Because Plana is trained by the legendary Simon Brown, 3-time world champion. And that's a big win, no question. That could put him in some serious situations going forward. He could get another TV shot, possibly a world ranking, and who knows how far he can go. But that's a big win for the sexy Albanian Yank Plana. Congratulations to him. Now, folks, we're going to be very busy in the next few months, next couple of months, as we have a lot of things going on in March and April. Coming up in the next few weeks, in and out of the Beltway. So right now we're going to take an early look at the spring boxing schedule, Beltway boxing schedule. I like to call it the spring fling of Beltway boxing. A lot of things going on here. Let's start this coming Saturday, March the 7th. A couple boxers in action, both in the state of Pennsylvania. At the Pittsburgh Shrine Center in Cheswick, Pennsylvania, Columbia, Maryland super middleweight Ashton the Goon Sykes. He'll be in a 4-round bout against undefeated Isaiah Hart of Mays Landing, New Jersey. Goon Sykes is 4-3, 1 KO, taking on Isaiah Hart, who's originally from Peru, and he has a record of 5-0-1, 3 KOs. Also on Saturday, March the 7th, at the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, a super lightweight, out of Silver Spring, Maryland. That's where he lives now. He's originally from the Republic of the Congo. His name is Diamercy Elephant Nizal. He's 11-11, 8 KOs. I've never seen him before, never heard of him before, have no idea where he trains. And he is coming up against Samuel Tsunami Tia of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's 16-3-1, 7 KOs. So we wish him well. We just never heard of him. And I'm curious to know who his trainer is. I'm one of it's Zeke Thompson, who has a number of boxers from the African continent in his camp. So I'm wondering if that's where he's from. I don't know. I really don't. Also, Saturday, March 7th is the last preliminary for the Washington Golden Gloves. Actually, I'm sorry. It's the first semifinal of the Washington Golden Gloves is Saturday, March 7th. And the semifinal action continues at the Washington Golden Gloves. Special date on this one, Friday, March 13th is the second semifinal action for the Washington Golden Gloves. Friday, March 13th. And probably because on the very next day, Saturday, March the 14th, there's a big card at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. And again, Rosecroft Raceway, National Harbor, very, very close together. They're one exit apart. If you go down to the 95 Beltway, down toward Virginia, the Rosecroft Raceway exit and the exit to National Harbor, very, very close together. So Saturday, March 14th, there's a card at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. This will be a TGB Promotions card headlined by a 10-round middleweight contest between James Kirkland of San Antonio, Texas. He's 34-2, 30 KOs. And Mark Anthony Hernandez of Fresno, California, 14-3-1, 3 KOs. Now, there are 3 local boxers scheduled to be on this card. The bouts on this card will be televised by FS1. And I think the one bout that will make the telecast is undefeated Hyattsville, Maryland featherweight, Kobe the Soldier Breedy. He is 15-0, 5 KOs. He'll take on Eugene Rambo Lagos of Valencia City, Bukidnon, Philippines. He's 16-5-3, 11 KOs. Again, that's scheduled for 10 rounds. Now, on the undercard, there'll be a 6-round contest, and this is going to be an interesting contest. I don't know why it's happening, and I'm not sure I'm really for it happening, but it should be an interesting bout. 6-round contest between locals Tariq IGB Irby of Landover, Maryland. He's 9-0, 3 KOs. And Cornell Hitman Hines of Washington, D.C. He's 5-1, 2 KOs. That's an interesting bout. It really is. Cornell Hitman Hines apparently does not have Mark Johnson training him anymore. I've heard rumors that he's out in Baltimore. He's training out of the Baltimore camp now. That's what I've heard. Tariq Irby, I don't think he's with the Headbangers anymore, so I think he's changed trainers as well. So it should be a very interesting bout there. I think Cornell Hines will challenge Irby very well in this bout. So that should be interesting. So Tariq Irby taking on Cornell Hines, 6-round bout on this card at MGM National Harbor Casino, Oxon Hill, Maryland. Also scheduled to be on this card are locals Devontae Speed Rawls, Mia Kill B. Ellis, and Aaron Anderson. So that is Saturday, March 14th at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. That's 1 week from Saturday. Friday and Saturday, March 20th and 21st at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. Now, on the 20th and the 21st are the Virginia, North Carolina Golden Glove Championships. So those are the boxers that will face the D.C., Maryland, and Delaware champions in the regionals coming up in April. So Friday and Saturday, March 20th and 21st are the Virginia, North Carolina Golden Glove Championship. Now, the 21st is probably a date in case they need to use the second date, because 21st will also be the final semifinal day for the Washington Golden Gloves that very same day. So that'll be Friday and Saturday, March 20th and 21st. Now, Friday, March 20th at the Sheraton Hotel in Framingham, Massachusetts, Frederick, Maryland boxer Larry Hitman Pryor, who's 11-22 with 5 KOs, he'll be in a 6-round heavyweight bout against Tracy Johnson of Boston, Massachusetts. He's 4-7-6. So this could be an interesting bout for Pryor. It could be a bout he could win. But again, he's going up to heavyweight now. I don't think he's fought too many bouts at heavyweight. So we'll see what happens there. Speaking of heavyweights, on Saturday, March 21st at Fayetteville, North Carolina, no word what arena they're using, Greenbelt, Maryland heavyweight Orlando Pugh, who's 1-10-1, 1 KOs. He fights for the first time since February of 2017. He'll take on Marie Coleman of Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's 6-6 with 4 KOs. So that will be interesting. Good to see Orlando Pugh back trying again. He'll take on Marie Coleman, who's fought Jerry Forrest a couple of times in the Beltway. One, I think, in Virginia. He fought Jerry Forrest. All right, so that's Saturday, March 21st in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Our next bout in the Beltway will be on Saturday, March 28th. That'll be at the Merrick Recreation Center in Southeast Washington, D.C. This will be a Putney Promotions card. Feature a number of Beltway boxers, including the Dark Menace Tierra Brown, who's 10-0, 6 KOs. Darren Sweet Tay Williams returns. He's 8-1, 5 KOs. Mike Silverback Balogun, 16-0, 12 KOs. Akeem Jackson is 1-1, 1 KOs. The return of Kevin the Scarecrow Womack Jr., 9-20-4 with 7 KOs. George Harris, the heavyweight out of Silver Spring, he's 5-0, 4 KOs. And the debuting, and I'm looking forward to this debut, of Manzabori Kandi. This is a young man I've seen a number of times in the amateurs. So we're interested to see what he does as a pro for the first time. Manzabori Kandi makes his pro debut on this card. That's Saturday, March 28th at the Merrick Recreation Center in Southeast Washington, D.C. Then on Saturday, April the 4th, back at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland, the championship finals for the Washington Golden Gloves. So that'll be a championship. We hope to have live coverage of that Saturday, April 4th at Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. Then on Saturday, April 11th, this will be in a brand new facility called the Highland Community Entertainment Hall. This is, I believe, also in Southeast Washington, D.C. And this will be a promotion by Keystone Boxing. They return with a pro card. No word yet who's on that card. The one person that I know who will be on the card will be me, because I'll be the ring announcer for that particular card. That's Saturday, April 11th at the Highland Community Entertainment Hall in Washington, D.C. Then on Friday, April the 17th, boxing returns to the MGM National Harbor Casino with a matchroom boxing card. Has 2 world title bouts on this show. Luke Campbell of Hassel, Yorkshire, United Kingdom. He's 20-3, 16 KOs. Battles Javier Fortuna of Braintree, Massachusetts, by way of the Dominican Republic. 35-2-1, 24 KOs for the vacant WBC Lightweight Championship. And it has another bout that features a woman who, if Clarissa Shields is not the best boxer in female boxing today, this woman surely is. Her name is Cecilia, the Iron Lady Breckhouse of Bergen, Norway, by way of Colombia. She is 36-0, 9 KOs, and she'll defend the unified welterweight championship. There are no less than 5 welterweight titles on this card. thanks to Cecilia Breckhouse. She'll defend those titles against Jessica McCaskill of Chicago, Illinois. She's 8-2, 3 KOs. Now, those two bouts aren't even the main event. The main event on the card is a 12-round bout between Regis Prograis of Houston, Texas, one of the bright lights in boxing today. He's 24-1, 20 KOs, taking on Maurice Hooker of Dallas, Texas, 27-1-3, 18 KOs. This card will be streamed by DAZN. And unfortunately, as of right now, there are no Beltway boxers listed on the card. So that's the drawback on this card for me. But Cecilia Breckhouse is somebody I've wanted to see for a long time up close. So I'm hoping to get a chance to see her Friday, April 17th at the MGM National Harbor Casino in Oxon Hill, Maryland. Saturday, April 18th, Rosecroft Raceway in Fort Washington, Maryland. That's when the regional Golden Glove Championship finals will take place. Hope to have live coverage of that as well. And then we end the spring with Saturday, April the 25th at the Michael & Son Sportsplex in Sterling, Virginia. That's a Ponytail Promotions card featuring locals Mac Poppy Allison IV, who's 11-3-1, 9 KOs. The Red Comet, Dante Cox, 6-1, 4 KOs. Female boxer Joelle Flores, 1-0. I guess it's Yon Planas, 1-0, 1 KO. Alan Johnson, 1-1, 1 KO. Calvin Menz is 2-0, 2 KOs. Deontay, Mr. Untouchable Burtz, 4-0-1, 2 KOs. And the debuting Baltimore boxer by the name of Terrell Boyd will be on that card Saturday, April 25th at the Michael & Son Sportsplex in Sterling, Virginia. That's once again a Ponytail Promotions card. So that is the spring so far. Of course, we'll have more updates on all of those shows, and they're all subject to change without notice. You never know. But again, we'll have some updates on those cards as we get closer to them. And again, some big bouts on the way in the months of March and April. So stay tuned right here on the Box on Beltway Podcast Network for more updates on those great cards. Well, that'll do it for another edition of Beltway Boxing News and Notes. Once again, Beltway Boxing News and Notes on the Box on Beltway Podcast Network, brought to you by Real Time Pain Relief. Go to freepainoffer.com, buy $10 worth of real-time pain relief. You get a free $10 tube of real-time pain relief, the official pain relief of the 2020 Daytona 500. Rub it on. The pain is gone in real time. And by DeborahSpears.com, great weight loss tips, great jewelry, and great training methods at Deborah, Debra Spears.com. Don't forget to go on boxonbeltway.blogspot.com, go to the Amazon.com page, and you can purchase items from that link on the blog. And you always find me on Twitter at Digital25. Thank you so much for joining us here on Box on Beltway Podcast Network. As always, we thank you. My name is Gary Digital Williams, and as always, keep supporting the best boxing in the world, the boxing along the Beltway. Thanks for listening, everybody. Take care.